How many times have you caught yourself saying, you know what, I'll start dressing up when I lose the weight, or I'll put in the effort into my appearance when I finally get that promotion, or simply I'll dress the part when I actually feel confident? We treat looking put together as a reward. I don't know why we do that. We treat it like it's the finish line that we only get to cross once we've somehow earned it internally. And society loves to validate this mindset. We are constantly told that caring about your presentation is frivolous, that it's vanity or it's superficial. And we're taught that true substance is entirely internal and that focusing on the external is somehow a betrayal of depth. So then we wait. We wait for the internal shift to happen on its own, hoping that one morning we're going to wake up radiating the confidence of the woman we know that we are meant to be. But listen, what I want to tell you is something that might completely shift how you view your morning routine. Presentation is not vanity. It's identity reinforcement. When you dismiss the way you present yourself into the world as superficial, you're missing one of the most powerful psychological tools at your disposal. You are waiting for the feeling to dictate the action, when in reality, it's the action that generates the feeling. Did you catch that? Now, let's talk about this idea of waiting until we feel confident. Now, it's quite frankly one of the biggest traps that we fall into as a woman. I fell into it many times before, right? What do? We look at women who walk into a room and command it. Those women, they seem completely at ease in their power, and then we assume that we're simply not born with the wellspring of self assurance that we somehow lack. They have it, we don't, right? But confidence is rarely a leading indicator. It's almost the most lagging one, right? It doesn't lead, it's all the way in the back. Confidence doesn't magically appear in a vacuum. It's the result of keeping promises to yourself. It's the byproduct of showing up over and over and over again, especially when you don't feel like it. When you wait for confidence to strike before you allow yourself to look your best, what you're really doing is putting the cart before the horse. You're expecting the emotional reward before you've even done any doggone physical work of stepping into that role. Let's think of it like an actress, right? And she's preparing for a major role. She doesn't wait until she feels exactly like the character to put on the costume. No, she puts on the costume, and then the weight of the fabric, the style of the shoes, the way the garments force her to stand, that is what helps her become the character. And you, my dear, you're the leading lady of your own life. So why are you waiting for to feel like her and to embody her before you dress like her? Now, the tough love truth is, because you know I'm going to give it to you, by waiting for this elusive feeling of confidence, what you're really doing is you're actively delaying your own becoming. You're holding yourself in a holding pattern, waiting for permission that no one else can give you. Now, there's actual science behind this because I am a little bit of a nerd, okay? And we don't need to get bogged down with the clinical terms and all that to understand it. However, psychologists call it enclothed cognition. And it's the proven phenomenon that what we wear actually changes our cognitive processes. It changes how we think, how we behave, and how we interact with the world. Have you ever noticed how your posture shifts when you put on a beautiful tailored blazer versus like an oversized sweatshirt? It's not just a physical adjustment, it's also a mental one. So when you take time to really curate your appearance, when you ensure that your clothes fit perfectly, your hair is done, you look intentional, your brain receives a very clear signal. Okay, I'm somebody who matters. I'm someone who requires care and attention. And when you believe that you are someone who matters, your behavior is going to naturally align with that belief. You're going to speak a little louder. You apologize a little less. You hold your boundaries with more grace and firmness because you physically feel grounded in your own value. This isn't about wearing a specific designer or adhering to all those crazy rigid set of fashion rules because who can keep up, right? But it's about the intention behind the presentation. So when you look put together, you are physically embodying your standards. You're wearing your boundaries. You're visually, visibly communicating to yourself before anybody else, because it always starts with us first, right? That you are not willing to settle for the bare minimum. If you want to step into that next echelon of your life, your career, your relationships, any of it, you cannot do it while physically lingering in your past. You have to dress for the reality that you are creating, not the reality that you're trying to leave behind. We often hear that change must come from within. And while internal work is absolutely vital, don't get me wrong, we deeply underestimate the power of external evidence to rewrite our internal narratives. Our brains constantly looking for proof to validate our beliefs. If your internal narrative is that you're invisible, unimportant, or not quite there yet, how many of us have said that one? And you dress in a way that allows you to hide, your brain is going to say, see, I told you. Mm-mm. Told you. We ain't there. We're not hurt yet. But what happens when you disrupt that loop? What happens when you decide, regardless of how you feel, when your alarm goes off, you're going to present yourself impeccably? You step out into the world, and the world is going to respond differently. I promise you. People start holding doors, they make eye contact, they listen more intently when you speak. The energy that you receive from your environment is going to shift dramatically. And here's the magic, because you know I'm going to tell you. Your brain takes note of this new evidence. So it sees the respect that you're commanding, and it feels the ease in which you are navigating the room now. And slowly that internal narrative, it begins to crack a little bit. The external feedback loop is going to begin to rewire the internal belief system. So you're going to start to internalize the reality that you are seen, you are important, and you are powerful. I know I sound like the help a little bit right there, right? But it's true. You're giving your mind the tangible physical proof that it needs to believe the new story that you're writing about yourself. You're not dressing up to impress other people. Don't let nobody tell you that. They always try to ask us, like, oh, who are you dressing up for? Myself, right? You are dressing up to convince yourself. You're providing the undeniable evidence of your own worth until your internal belief catches up to your external reality. So, the next time that you are tempted to dismiss your presentation as vanity, I want you to remember this. Every time you choose to look put together, you are casting a vote for the woman that you are becoming. You are actively reinforcing your identity. You're not waiting for confidence, you are creating it. You're not hiding, but you are commanding. You are using every tool at your disposal to build a life that reflects your highest standards. But I also want to be clear, while presentation is a powerful catalyst, it's only the beginning. It's the visual representation of a much deeper transformation. Presentation is only one piece, but inside of House of Zokai, we build the complete system. So until next time, take care of yourselves and remember to show up as the woman that you are meant to be. Talk to you soon. Ciao.